Well, howdy there, folks, and welcome into this video. Hope you guys are doing great as always. I just got in from Vegas, so I'm in Arizona right now. Just got to the Arizona house, and I'm feeling really inspired to talk about something. I really want to talk in depth about Tesla stock, the valuation, and those sorts of things, and really like clear my mind on this. I feel like I've been dancing around this subject for a while, and yeah, I was just thinking about it on the drive and kind of when I got in and stuff. And I'm just like, I want to clear up a lot of things in relation to like me, my Tesla thoughts, and those sorts of things because I've spoken about Tesla on many various videos over the past couple months, but I feel like I've danced around some things, and I really just want to give my full peace of mind in relation to Tesla stock. We're going to talk about the valuation of Tesla stock. We're going to talk about some of the numbers I expect this company, what I'm expecting from this company, why I'm not buying the stock right now, but why I'm not selling the stock. And we'll talk really in depth about this. So yeah, a little late night Friday night video. Like I said, I was just feeling really inspired for this. And I was like, I could wait. And this is a type of video I definitely could have posted on the main channel and done on Monday, but I'm like, nowadays I just like to get stuff off my chest when it comes to me. So hope you guys enjoy this as always. Don't forget to smash, and yeah, let's get into this. By the way, if the audio is not the best, I apologize. I forgot one of my adapters, so I don't have, I basically don't have like an external microphone, so this is just being picked up through like the camera and stuff like that. But yeah, let's talk about Tesla for a moment. So Tesla, my opinion, they will be the biggest EV player in the world. I've been saying that for several years now. I believe all cars over time are going to EV, or almost all cars, especially in developed markets around the world. And I think Tesla will be the biggest. I really do. I think there's a chance Tesla will have a 25% to 50% market share of new cars sold by the year 2030, a number that we really haven't seen in any time period in modern history. Okay, I believe Tesla has a legit shot to be the number one player in autonomous taxi networks, which is going to be a massive market. You know, I think if we fast forward 10 years from now, I think cars will be driving us around. I don't think we'll be driving cars. I just drove, like I said, from Vegas out to Arizona. 90% of that drive time, 90% of the drive time, if not more, was done by the car, not by me. So that's just some food for thought there, okay? So if we fast forward a decade, like I'm very convinced like cars will be driving themselves, and I think Tesla has a great chance to be number one player in that market, okay? Tesla has a lot of call options, I call it call options on the company in terms of just things that are potential big things that we don't know if they're going to be successful there. EVs, we know they're going to be likely highly successful there, right? They're already proving that out. Autonomous taxi network, things are lining up for this company to be very successful long term, okay? Then there are things like artificial intelligence and some AI programs and things like that. And we just, you know, right now it's too early days to really know like if that's going to be successful or not, okay? That still has to play out. The energy side of the business. This is a side of the business that a lot of people talk about from time to time, okay? And keep in mind the energy side of the business is talked about that could be a massive business over time, but that's still something that also has to be proved out over time, right? Tesla's energy side of their business is extremely small compared to the automobile side of the business and likely will continue to, at least in the next few years. Longer term, we'll have to see. How big does a solar business get over time? Power packs, all those sorts of things and other future products, okay? And then there's a lot of other products this company could get into over time, right? Keep in mind, great companies, they don't just stay stagnant. They go, you know, future categories and do future things, right? Then obviously you have potential Tesla insurance. You have basically like over-the-air updates, things like, you know, full autonomy for your vehicle to drive itself around, $8,000 upgrade, which I don't know, I heard they might go up to $10,000. I'm not 100% sure on that. And other things you could purchase from the car, right? These are all massive opportunities, let's be very clear. And, you know, some of them are more realistic than others. Others, it's like, you know, we'll see, okay? And then you got in front of that company, you have Elon Musk, one of the best people in terms of getting people to believe in him, confidence, the belief that, you know, it's changing the world and those sorts of things, and unlimited capital raising abilities, okay? And so when you tie all these things together, you're getting a pretty special company, right? With some pretty special things. And this is why obviously I made the decision to invest in this company a few years ago. And I decided to tie part of my brand to this company. I've never, there's certain stocks that I really like put a stake in the sand and I say, this is my stock. And other people can jump on and things like that, but I'm gonna make sure people know like this is my stock. And Tesla was one of those, man. I used to get made fun of because I'd make Tesla videos almost every single day back in the day. Obviously, it's not like that nowadays, but back then, man, it was Tesla, and I was so bullish, and I want to make sure everybody knew like, what was up. And then I feel like over this past year, I feel like Planet 13 has kind of become that new stock where I put a stake in the sand and I said that's my stock. And there's other stocks from time to time that I do that with. And for me to put Tesla, put my brand behind that, I had to really be a big believer, and obviously I am. And we've made more money than I could ever thought of, dreamt about from that stock. It's done absolutely ridiculously amazing, right? And so that's great. And this is where we take a different turn, okay? This is the part of the video where we're going to take a different turn. We're going to go down the dark rabbit hole, all right? So the problem with people investing in Tesla, especially recently when it's been trading at anywhere from a 700 to, let's say, $900 billion range, somewhere in there, right? Where it's been trading at recently, 700, 900 billion. The problem is most people know that bull case that I just stated for you there. And that's where they stop. And then they just say buy the stock. And they don't care what valuations it's at or anything like that, okay? And so when I look at Tesla at, let's say, 700 to 900 billion, where it's been trading at pretty much recently, right? I say, okay, this is a great growth company with some unbelievably huge opportunities in front of itself for future years, okay? No doubt about that. But then I think about risk reward. And then I think about what's the risk in Tesla stock if you invest in that stock? And what's the reward potential, okay? And I like to think in 3 to 5 year increments when I'm personally investing in a stock, okay? And so if we're to look at Tesla stock and we're just to view this stock on a 3 to 5 year, let's talk about the next 3 to 5 years, what we can see in front of ourselves, 10 years from now, 15 years from now. Man, so much stuff can change. You don't really know, right? 10 years ago, Tesla was a joke. Flat out. Nowadays, all of a sudden, every automaker in the world wants to be Tesla. So you can't really predict 10 years out. I know so many people want to try to drag out numbers 10 years. It's too hard, just flat out, okay? So what we can realistically kind of forecast and see is really the next 3 years, maybe the next 5 years. So let's talk about that. Let's talk about the next 3 to 5 years, okay? So the company's going to expand automobiles massively. Autonomous taxi networks are probably going to get rolled out, and maybe even in mass over the next 3 to 5 years, and that's great. And maybe other future products come, services come, things like that. Great, okay? Keep in mind, Tesla has priced in pretty much everything I just told you, okay? Keep in mind, right now, Tesla's trading at 700 to 900 billion recently. First thing Tesla has to do as a company, they have to make that valuation make sense, okay? So that's first and foremost. Now that's going to take several years to make this current valuation make sense, all right? And we'll talk about Cathie Wood, we'll talk about Cathie Wood buying and things like that. We're going to get into that in this video as well. This is a lot, okay? I just want to cover it all in one video and we're going to get this done, okay? But Tesla has to prove these things out. Just because I say, and Cathie Wood says, and whoever else says out there that Tesla's going to become the dominant EV player, and all this has to play out. It hasn't played out yet. They have to prove this. Right now, Tesla is more valuable than by far and away any auto company in recent and ever. I mean, you could pretty much put all the big automakers together and they still wouldn't equal Tesla's market capitalization. Tesla's priced like they won the next 5-10 years when it comes to EVs, right? They're priced like that. So now they got to prove that out to make this current valuation make sense. A $700 to $900 billion market cap, Tesla better be able to do $35 billion to $70 billion on the bottom line long term. You know, Tesla's not doing $35 billion in net income anytime soon. Maybe 2026-ish, maybe somewhere around there. 2025, best case scenario, 2027 maybe, they can do 35 billion plus. So this is where things get interesting. They've got to prove this out, okay? So we've stretched the valuations really far, and we basically, returns for the future have been stolen. They've been stolen because the stock has gone up so much, okay? So this is something to keep in mind when it comes to Tesla stock. They have to prove this out first, all right? Then if they prove that out, then we can talk about raising the valuation in the future, okay? But where things get interesting, the stock's trading at 700 to 900 billion. And if you're putting your money in Tesla stock today at that valuation, you know, if I'm putting money in a stock for the next 5 years, I want that stock to at least have a 2x opportunity, okay? If Tesla's going to 2x over the next 5 years, it's going to need to go to 1.4 trillion to $1.8 trillion. It is possible. It is possible. But I can tell you it's not easy. It's not even easy to fulfill Tesla's current valuation, never mind get to a place where the stock's trading at $1.4 trillion to $1.8 trillion. As far as market capitalization, it's not easy. Let's just put it that way. That's going to be a heck of a huge challenge, and Tesla's going to need to execute more flawlessly than they've ever done in their history to even dream about that, okay? It's a stretch. It's a stretch to get the company to that valuation in 5 years from now. It is possible, but it is a stretch, which means the probability of this stock 2xing from 700 to 900 billion to 1.4 trillion to 1.8 trillion is difficult. Not impossible. It can happen, but it's very, very difficult. Meanwhile, there's other stocks I view out there, and I would say there's like a 70 to 90% probability they're going to 2x, and probably a lot more than 2x. Is Tesla 3xing over the next 5 years? Nope. I'll put any money on that. Who wants to bet me? Gladly bet you. Whatever you want to bet. We can bet 100,000, 500,000, $1 million. I don't care. I'll put 5 mil on that. I guarantee you Tesla is not going to $2.5 trillion or something ridiculous like that over the next 5 years. It's just not. That valuation's way out there. We already have stretched it so far as it is. Never mind that. And I understand we're in a day and age where everybody just wants to put valuations to the sky and all those sorts of things, and it's fun to talk about. But there's a lot of stocks I look at in the stock market right now that is so much easier for me to get that stock in my brain to 2x, 3x or more over the next 3-5 years than Tesla. I will gladly hold Tesla. I don't want to sell Tesla because Tesla could still be a good stock. Keep in mind, not all stocks triple up, quadruple up, go up 1,000% in a very quick amount of time. This is something very, very important to keep in mind. Like Tesla could be, if Tesla gets me 10% a year, sweet. It's a great stock. Why would I want to sell it and sell out of a great company that has a future of EVs and autonomous taxi networks and things like that, and then have to pay a ridiculous amount of taxes? If I sell my Tesla, I'm going to have to pay hundreds of thousands of dollars in taxes on that. Do I want to do that? I'll gladly just continue to hold Tesla. It adds great diversity to my portfolio. I get to hold a great stock. Every stock in my portfolio that I hold doesn't have to necessarily 3x, 4x over the next 5 years. But if I'm putting new money into a stock, I really want those opportunities where I feel like very low probability to go down 50%. What's the probability Tesla goes down 50%? I would say pretty decent. There's a pretty decent probability that Tesla will go down 30, 40, 50% at some point, you know, in the short term. Maybe it's even this year. I mean, the stock was at 900, it's already down to 600 something. Like maybe it already does a 40, 50% drop, right? It was at 619 just a few days ago. You know what I mean? So that's another thing I think about. I think about risk reward in a stock. What's the chances I lose 50% on that stock? What's the chances I double up or more of my money? There's several stocks in the stock market, and I talk about these stocks, and I'll continue to find them, where I feel like they're going to 2x or more over the next 5 years. And I feel like it's a 90% plus probability, and the chances those stocks go down 50% extremely low. And so those are the type of opportunities. So it's interesting. I've watched a lot of people, pile in Tesla because it fell, from 900 to 800, and then it fell from 800 to 700, and everybody's piling in that stock. And I'm like, Tesla's a great company. Tesla's going to be a growth beast. But just because that doesn't mean the valuation hasn't gotten extremely stretched on that stock into a place where it's stolen so much returns from the future. And that's, I think, a thing that people just don't quite wrap their head around in terms of the risk reward when it comes to a stock like that. And Cathie Wood, let's talk about Cathie Wood. So some people say, well, Cathie Wood's still buying it. Look at her returns, okay? I've gotten great returns. Cathie Wood's gotten great returns. I don't know who's outperformed each other. We both outperformed very well. I know people in my private stock group that have way outperformed me. Some of them have gotten 300 to 500% returns the past year. They crushed Cathie Wood and they crushed me, okay? So, we can't play the whole return versus return game, because there's always going to be somebody out there that's got a better return, right? That's just the way it is. And there's going to be some guy that played the Roaring Kitty guy. I mean, he looks like the biggest genius ever in the history of the earth, right? Look at his returns. He makes Cathie Wood and me look like a joke. You know what I mean? So I don't think you should just say, well, she got good return. A lot of people get good returns. When it comes to Cathie Wood, she's getting ridiculous amounts of money thrown at her, and she is forced to buy stocks. She has to buy stocks. And it's a bad look if she's not putting some of that money in Tesla stock. It's a really bad look. When you're getting forced money in your face, like, here, take it all, which is essentially what's literally happened with Ark Invest. If she doesn't buy Tesla stock, that's a really bad look. It's like, do you not believe in the stock that made you famous? Tesla stock made Cathie Wood famous. And if all of a sudden she's getting thrown tens of billions of dollars and she doesn't buy that stock, it's like, what are you doing? You're not going to put at least 100 mil in it, 200 mil, 300 mil, and people see you're buying that and they're like, oh, it must mean it's so easy. This is the best deal ever. She has to. You can't get tens of billions of dollars thrown at you and not at least put a few hundred mil in your stock that made you famous. If you don't, that's a really, really bad look, man. And you could talk circles around this and that, but I mean, that's a really bad look if you don't put some more money in it. And so that's where I'm at with Tesla stock. That's why I hold this stock. That's why you don't see me rushing out to buy more shares of the stock. That's my opinion on its valuation. I am absolutely bullish on that company over the long term, no doubt about it. But am I running out to throw money in it? No, because I know a lot of stocks that are going to perform much better than Tesla stock over the next several years. No doubt about it. There was a time when Tesla was, I was convinced that was going to be my best performer. And it became that. It's not going to be my best performer anymore, I can tell you that, in terms of, upside over the next 5 years. I have several stocks that will destroy Tesla in terms of how much they go up in the future. But valuation is really important. Something I cover in my private stock group, something I have all the coaches, 6-figure, 7-figure coaches. It's not just about finding the great business and the financials and things like that. The next component is valuation. Are you getting ripped off on a stock? Are you getting a decent deal on a stock? Or are you getting a great deal? When I was buying Tesla at a $30, $40 billion market cap, great deal, stealing money. Now, 700 billion, 800 billion, like it was trading at very recently. It's okay. It's not the best, I can tell you that. And it won't be the best over the next 3-5 years. So, it won't be the best over the next 10 years either. Anyways, hope you guys enjoyed this as always. Just want to get all this off my chest, really in depth. Sure, it'll be a big video. Don't forget to smash. If you want to try to apply from a private stock group, it's linked in the description. Might also have that as a pinned comment. Peace. Much love.